What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA action here on Wednesday, November 19th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on every game, and look at some player props, and I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, is looking like we're finally paying for all the run good that we've had here. There's been like 8 or 9 days without a losing day. Well, unfortunately, we've locked in a losing day already. We had the over there on that Boston Celtics Brooklyn Nets game, and unfortunately, despite great shooting deep from both teams, the pace of play just didn't allow us to get to the over in a game where we saw the Nets score only 38 points in the whole second half. That tanking getting pretty out of hand there in Brooklyn. We had Franz Wagner over 1.5 made threes at -122. Very confusing to see him only take 3 shots from distance in this whole game, despite the Jazz winning. I guess he wanted to let Suggs go 0 of 7 from 3. I'm not really sure why Franz Wagner wasn't shooting any threes in this game. We had Derek White over 22.5 points plus assists at -112. An awful shooting night from White as he goes only 6 of 15 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3 against a terrible opponent. I would have loved this bet even more if we would have known he was going to play 33 minutes, but he just didn't have it in this one. Just couldn't throw it in the ocean. So that was pretty unfortunate. We're on the Lakers as big favorites in this one in LeBron's debut. We'll see. That game just tipped off, so we'll see how that one goes. We're also on the Suns +4.5. Hopefully you watched this video early and got in on the good number, but I also like them down to +2.5. That's what they were at around middle of the day. Unfortunately, we bricked out on our massive lock of the day. We've been on a very nice little run over there on the lock of the day, but the Warriors, just, I guess, too exhausted, could not come through for us there as our massive lock of the day. They end up losing 121 to 113 there against the Orlando Magic. Despite a great bounce back game there from Steph, he had 34 points, but everybody else just seemed a little bit sluggish. I mean, not Jimmy. Jimmy had 33, so he played great, but nobody else really able to chip in. Draymond with 12, but Moody was terrible. Will Richard only 6 points in 15 minutes played. He didn't get a ton of run, and nobody on the bench really stepped up. I mean, Horford played 27 minutes, scored 9 points, looking like his acquisition there from the Warriors was drastically overrated. So we'll see what goes on. Obviously, the Warriors playing a very, very rough schedule here so far. A lot of games and not so many days. So we'll see what goes on with them down the stretch. But right now, just looking to get off the schneid, a very weak day so far. Not the case on the premium side, though. Premium picks looking pretty good so far today. But we'll break all those down here in a bit. But guys, we're going to go ahead and dive in. We've got a big slate here of NBA action on Wednesday, so let's get after it. First up, we're looking at an ESPN game. We've got the Houston Rockets going on the road here to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Rockets come in this game looking very solid. They've won 4 in a row, and what is it up to now? 9 out of their last 10. Their only loss in that stretch was to the Spurs when Wemby was healthy. That was a tough loss, but their last time out, a 117 to 113 win there over the Magic. Definitely a closer game than you would have expected it to be, going into overtime and all that, despite that being a game where, Paolo Banchero didn't even play. The Rockets looked pretty okay. Definitely some problems. You don't want Kevin Durant playing 45 minutes and taking 24 shots. That's not what he's supposed to be there for. Sengun, 31 shot attempts. Like, they just got to find some more offensive production. Amen Thompson, 12 points in 39 minutes. Come on, bro. You got to be better than 4 of 13 from the field. You're too much of a freak athletically. I need to see more from you. Also, Steven Adams, only 1 of 8 from the field. What was going on with Steven Adams? We didn't like what we saw from, just in Josh Okogie, 1 point in 22 minutes. Like, what's going on? Aaron Holiday and Reed Shepard both played great off the bench. Were a big part of why this team eventually won the game. As a squad, they only shot 23s. That's not great. So we'll see if the Rockets can bounce back a little bit, play a little bit better in this one. Definitely against a theoretically tougher opponent. They come in this game looking relatively healthy. The only guy on the injury report is Jabari Smith Jr. He's dealing with a knee issue. He's questionable for this game. It sounds like there's a chance that he plays, but we'll see. We'll see. It doesn't look like it's a lock by any stretch that he's out there. So keep an eye on that leading up to game time. Other than him, they are healthy and ready to go. So we'll see what they can do in Cleveland. Taking on a Cavaliers team, they are 10-5 on the season. The NBA actually just fined them $100,000 for resting Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. So we'll see what goes on with this down the stretch. That's a little bit surprising to see the NBA, lay down the hammer like that. The Cavaliers did just get the 118 to 106 win there over the Milwaukee Bucks their last time out. So well played there. That was the game. That was a game where we definitely didn't see them at full strength. Mobley and Donovan Mitchell were out there for that one. Mitchell had 37 points in that win. He played well. Hunter, only 11 points, but a relatively solid game from him. The bench really came up huge in that one. We were on the Cavaliers. I believe it was -6 we had him in that game, and they came through big time. Craig Porter Jr. played fantastic off the bench. We loved what we saw from Lonzo Ball, although his shooting numbers were pretty poor. But we really liked Sam Merrill. He played fantastic off the bench. And obviously, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, all the big dogs for the Cleveland Cavaliers, carrying the load there and looking pretty good. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The injury report here, Garland on there. That's a big concern. Sam Merrill on there also, and Jalen Tyson also still on the injury report. Now, Garland, he's dealing with that toe issue. He is out for this game. Sam Merrill dealing with a hand issue. He's questionable. I don't see anything that should necessarily keep him out of this game, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. And Jalen Tyson, guys, he's dealing with that concussion situation still. Will miss this game for sure. So not going to be the full-strength Cavaliers here. Obviously, having Donovan Mitchell ready to go is a pretty big deal. And most of the other big guns, but they're about to play a tough opponent here. And the odds makers have this one listed as pretty close to a flip. The Cavaliers are 1.5-point favorites at home, depending on which book you look at. We've got a total of 232.5 in this game. Houston, they're 8-4 against the spread. They're 10-1-1 to the over. Cleveland, 5-10 against the spread, 8-7 to the over. I mean, right off the bat here, I like over 232.5. I do worry a little bit about this turning into a little bit of a defensive slog if the Rockets can make that happen, but that really hasn't been their MO this season, so I do like the over here quite a bit. Has a chance to make the pinned comment. In terms of a side, I'll take the Rockets on the side as well. Getting a 1.5, take them on the money line if you want. Either way is fine with me. I think they're in great shape to win this game, especially if Jabari Smith Jr. ends up playing. I don't think the Cavaliers are really the same without Darius Garland out there, although he didn't look great in his very limited action this season. But I just don't think the Cavaliers have the depth to hang with the Rockets right now. I don't think they have great answers out there for a lot of the Rockets players. Maybe Mobley can make life tough there for Sengun, but overall, I think this is an excellent spot to back both the Rockets and the over. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Charlotte Hornets going on the road here to take on the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Hornets are 4-10 on the season. They've dropped 3 in a row and 6 out of their last 7. A tough 2-point loss there in Toronto. A game they kind of, I'm not going to say they fully gave it away, but did not play great down the stretch. We saw LaMelo Ball come back. He had 20 points in his 28 minutes, only 1 of 7 from 3 though. As a team, they shot 25% from deep. Con Knuppel did his thing out there. He had 24 points, 4 of 10 from 3 in his 36 minutes. He was a +2. We liked some of what we saw from the bench. Colin Sexton, always going to bring you lots of energy off the bench. 17 points for him coming in, but yeah, just not a great day across the board. I mean, Bridges was only 9 of 22. LaMelo Ball only 6 of 19. Like, just not an amazing game. Despite all that, they played a very, very close one there in Toronto. So they gave it their best shot, just came up a little bit short. This obviously isn't an amazing team by any stretch. They come into this one looking relatively healthy. The big exception is obviously Brandon Miller. He's still not going to be back yet. They did bring him back there from the G League, so we'll see when he's ready to go out there and run with the big dogs, but there's nothing necessarily indicating that that is going to be happening here on Wednesday. So we'll see what they can do heading into Indiana to take on a Pacers team that's having just a nightmare of a season. They're 1-13 on the year. Tanking things out this season makes the most sense possible for this team. Obviously, they know they didn't have a great chance with no Halliburton, and it's gotten pretty bleak. They just lost 127-112 there against the Pistons, and I mean, they're back home for this one. I don't really have a lot of positive things to say. Siakam is playing great. It just is, wasted effort, it feels like. I mean, he had 29 points. Benedict Mathurin had 25. Nembhard, I really thought this would be a big breakout season from him. It just has not looked like it so far, and the bench, oh my God, the bench for this team is just horrible. So many guys getting forced into bigger roles than they're used to has led to just a terrible lack of production coming off the bench here for the Pacers. So we'll see what they can do here. At least they're playing at home. They are healthy, by the standards of, people are still available. Obi Toppin's still going to be sidelined for quite a while. Other than that, they are ready to go. Nembhard, Mathurin, Siakam all ready to go. TJ McConnell ready to give them something off the bench. Looking at the numbers for this one, the Pacers are getting a 1.5 here at home. We've got a total of 235.5. Charlotte 7-7 against the spread, 8-6 to the under. The Pacers 5-9 against the spread, 9-5 to the under. Maybe we want to think about under in this game just based on these trends, but I think most of those numbers were acquired with guys like LaMelo Ball sideline, so I'm not going to get too involved in the total. In terms of a side, I will take the Hornets here despite the fact they're playing on the road. Not something that's necessarily their forte, but I do think they've got a shot in this one. But this is a game where I'm staying pretty far away. I'm not going to be getting super involved. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. Looks like we're coming off a decent little night over there on the premium side. Lots of stuff cashing, easily cashing a big college football play. So that was nice. I didn't even know there was college football happening today. Our NCAA football capper was on the ball and got us a nice little win there. So definitely some good stuff to check in there on the premium side. You also want to get over there to StumpTheSpread.com and check out all the free stuff we offer every single day. We have free picks that are posted under the free picks tab. You definitely want to be checking in on those. That's some easy to see free value over there. There's our free to use bet size calculator. So if you've got any questions about how you should be managing your bankroll, definitely check that out. Also, you got to get over there to StumpTheSpread.com and get on that free email list, guys. It's a fantastic resource. Every single day, one email will come out. It'll have at least one free pick in it, oftentimes 2 or 3 free picks. Parlays are included in those emails, information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, all kinds of good stuff like that. Tons of great plays come out in terms of NFL touchdown props and NFL free picks. Last week, we cashed the Jaguars as a big NFL free pick, also cashing several nice touchdown props in there. So definitely want to get on that email list, and it's very easy to get on it, guys. You go to StumpTheSpread.com, either by clicking the link in the description or by typing StumpTheSpread.com into your browser of choice. You click on that little green login button at the top right corner. That's going to prompt you to set up a free account. All they're going to ask for is your name and your email address. That is it. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day with all that great information on it. So definitely get in on that. Also, in terms of our premium results here on a very busy November 18th, we did have a little bit of a rough night there on the college basketball side, only going 1-2. Old Dominion just really did not show up the way we expected, but that under the Army Cornell game worked out, and Kentucky, we were just totally wrong on what Kentucky's going to be like this season. That's why it was our smallest play of the day, so unfortunately we break that one out. But on the NBA side, we've cashed the Spurs at -6. They played really well in the last 2 minutes of the game to pull away late. We had Will Richard over 10.5 points plus rebounds. That one cashed as well. The Suns, that game's still going on. Rui Hachimura, that Lakers game is still very early. On the NHL side, cashing the Winnipeg Jets as a 1-unit play makes up for breaking out on the Blues as a half-unit play. And then on the college football side, we had a Western Michigan -6. That was a easy win there, cashing a nice 1-unit play. So looking like a very solid night over there on the premium side. Definitely get over to StumpTheSpread.com and check out all the premium stuff. We've got a team of experienced cappers. Every single one has over a decade's worth of experience covering his given sport. So definitely want to get in on that, guys. It's some of the best sports betting advice you can possibly find out there. So definitely want to get in on that. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, get access to our members-only giveaways. We do a members-only giveaway here every single week. Right now, we're doing those on Mondays. If we can get up to 125 members, right now we're somewhere around 110, 111. If we can get up to that 125 mark, we'll start doing giveaways twice a week. And the way the giveaways work, we put the name of every single YouTube channel member up on a big wheel on the screen live on the video. We spin that wheel, and whoever wins, whoever it lands on, gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed right to their address of choice. So definitely want to get in on that if you're interested, guys. Really appreciate all my channel members. But now we got to hop back into the mix. We got a lot of games still to cover here on a very busy Wednesday of NBA action. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Toronto Raptors as they go on the road here to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Raptors come into this game kind of cruising. They're 9-5 on the season. They've won 4 in a row. They are fresh off a tough 110-108 win there over the Hornets. They did win, but it was very close. We liked a decent amount of what we saw from the Raptors. Not the best shooting night there from Brandon Ingram, but he still had 27 points. Very nice to see all 5 starters scoring in double figures. They're doing a great job of sharing the ball. They shot 40% from 3, 10 of 25 from deep. Not getting up a crazy amount of attempts, but still a good night. Grady Dick playing really well off the bench. Just a lot of positives for this team. We're liking what we're seeing from Jakob Poeltl here recently. He's producing very well despite not really needing many touches. So it's been a really nice little run over here. They win despite getting out-rebounded by 5, something that shouldn't be happening to a team with this much length and athleticism. So we'll see if they can rectify that here as they go on the road to take on the 76ers. Warriors. The Raptors are fully healthy for this game. No Abaji, but other than that, they are fully healthy. You know, if you see quickly Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl, and at least one of their main bench guys healthy, they should be in pretty good shape. Now, they're heading to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers, who are 8-5 on the season. They've been a little bit better than projected. They did get the 110-108 win over the Clippers their last time out in Paul George's season debut. We'll see how helpful he'll actually be for this team. The real reason they won that game was the continued dominance of Tyrese Maxey. He had 39 points, 13 of 27 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. 41 minutes. The kid's playing a very heavy minutes load, but he's playing well out there. VJ Edgecombe, the scoring has slowed down a little bit, but the playmaking has been excellent, and he was very good out there. I mean, 14 points. He was a +4 in his 37 minutes. The bench also looked pretty good. 19 minutes off the bench. Quentin Grimes, a +12. He played well in his 36 minutes off the pine. So a lot of positives here for the 76ers. No Embiid is a bit of a concern, but Andre Drummond has come off out of nowhere and is putting in some really good minutes here from the 76ers. Somebody we're about to be talking about when it comes time to discuss player props. So looking at the injury report here for the 76ers, it's kind of what you would expect. Kelly Oubre still out. Paul George and Joel Embiid both on there. Oubre, he's been officially ruled out for this game. We don't know when he's going to be coming back, but it could be in the not too distant future. Paul George going to rest this game here against Toronto. Not going to be pushing it with that knee. In my opinion, guys, I think they're just trying to bring him out, show that he can play, and get ready to trade him, but we'll see what happens with that. Joel Embiid, also, he's officially doubtful for this game, so maybe he's getting closer to playing, but not looking like any major developments there. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the 76ers are 1-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 235.5. Toronto, 7-7 against the spread. They're also 7-7 to the over-under. The 76ers, they are 9-4 against the spread, 7-6 to the over. This is a bit of a tough spot, guys. I am going to lean just slightly here towards the Toronto Raptors playing on the road. I think they're the better team. They're definitely the deeper team in this situation, and I think that is going to come into play in this game. I am always afraid of Tyrese Maxey going out and winning a game on his own, but I think the Raptors here as a unit have a great chance to win this game. In terms of some player props for this one, I'll take Jakob Poeltl over 11.5 points in this one at -115. He's been a big part of the success of this team and has been over this number in 5 straight games. You could also take something that involves him rebounding well, because that's been happening too, but I'm going to stick with the scoring in this one, partially because I'm a little bit worried about Andre Drummond, who we like in this game to get a double-double. At -135, it's not the worst price. He's been cooking lately. Double-doubles posted in each of his last 4 games. I don't think that changes here against the Raptors. The banged-up 76ers need his production. Playing at home, I think they get it. He's also sucking up a crazy amount of minutes for a guy that, a guy like him, a guy that, wasn't exactly expecting to go out and play 38 minutes in an NBA game this season. Well, I could definitely see him doing that in this game. So Andre Drummond to, sniff out a double-double in this one seems like a very reasonable spot. Next up, we're looking at the Golden State Warriors going on the road in this one to take on the Miami Heat. Now, no numbers out at time of recording for this game. Unfortunately, the Warriors, playing earlier tonight, a lot up in the air about who they're actually going to run out there in this game, because this team has been playing a crazy amount of basketball in a very compressed window. They had those 2 huge wins there at the Spurs, so well played there. Took care of business against a terrible Pelicans team, but now they've got to play on back-to-back nights. No rest once again. This is going to be the 5th time this season they're going to have played on no rest. That's pretty bonkers. Now, in their 121-113 loss there against the Orlando Magic, we saw Steph come up big, 34 points from him, 33 from Jimmy, but nobody else really doing anything. The bench looked terrible. Horford, 9 points, 6 rebounds in 27 minutes. I guess not horrible production, but not great, and nobody else stepping up off the bench. Like Pajemski, you played 27 minutes. You had 5 points, only took 2 threes, and was 2 of 7 from the field. Like, come on, we got to get more than that. You can't say the things you've said and have performances like that. Like, that's just crazy. Also, Moody, a massive fall-off performance from him after having a career night against the Pelicans. So we'll see if the Warriors have a bounce back in, and we'll see if they actually play anybody in this game. The injury report, definitely not updated. We do see Curry on there, listed as day-to-day. He did tweak his right ankle in the first half of that, that loss to the Magic. Seems almost like a lock that he will not end up playing in this game, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see, but I would be flabbergasted. Now, the Warriors are going on the road to take on the Heat. The Heat are coming off a clutch 115-113 win there over the Knicks. have smash that thumbs up button. Those of you who had the Knicks -1.5 and got the win instead of the push. In that win, we're loving what we're seeing from the Heat in general this season. Really, team efforts on a nightly basis. Andrew Wiggins was horrible in that game. He was the reason it was so close. Kel Ware played great, 16 points, 14 boards, and 31 great minutes from him. Norman Powell, 19 points, not a great shooting night. And despite the starters not shooting the lights out necessarily, we loved what we saw from Fontecchio. He shot the ball well off the bench. Drew Smith, 3 of 4 off the bench, 11 very solid points there for him in his 16 minutes. Excellent production there from the Miami Heat bench. As a team, they ended up getting out-rebounded by a little bit, but still managed to make it happen there against the Knicks, who are missing some pretty important pieces. So well played there by the Heat. They can definitely play a little bit better than they did. They're still missing Bam. That is a huge hole in their lineup. However, Kel Ware getting more minutes is not a negative. He needed to be getting more minutes. Turned out Spoelstra had to be forced to give him more minutes, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Now, Bam has been upgraded to questionable for this game against the Warriors, so we'll have to wait and see whether or not he plays. Sounds like there's a chance. It might depend on how many people the Warriors rest. If they end up resting everybody, why would you rush Bam back for a game like that? Now, unfortunately, we don't have any numbers for this game, so it's going to have to be a wait-and-see spot. The Warriors are 9-7 against the spread this season. They are 11-5 to the over. They're 2-2 against the spread on no rest. The Heat are 9-5 against the spread. They are 9-5 to the over as well, but with so many injury things up in the air for the Warriors still, unfortunately, we're just going to wait and see on this one. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Washington Wizards going on the road to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wizards are 1-12 on the season. They just got blown out 129-106 by the Brooklyn Nets. That's pretty embarrassing, guys. If there's a team out there that you should have a chance to beat, it's probably the Brooklyn Nets, and the Wizards just looked terrible. This is some crazy uninspired basketball we're seeing just up and down the line. Keyshawn George is playing well. 29 points in his 32 minutes, was still a -15. He's looking like a promising young player. Alex Sarr has looked great at different points this season, not so much in that game. CJ McCollum has shown that he's capable of big breakout performances, but 17 points, 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. Fine. He was in that 0 in his 32 minutes. But just in general, guys, this team is so bad. They're clearly tanking things out once again. Nothing good coming off the bench. Corey Kispert, only 4 points in his 15 minutes. Just not liking anything we're seeing right now from the Washington Wizards. Some truly deplorable basketball being played by them. They're fully healthy coming into this game with the exception of Alex Sarr. He is on the injury report dealing with a toe issue. He is officially questionable here as they go on the road to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Timberwolves are 9-5 on the season. They just got the 120-96 win there over the Dallas Mavericks. They're kind of just knocking off these bad teams one at a time. They lost against the Nuggets, but beat the Kings the night before that, beat the Jazz the night before that, blew out the Kings the night before that. So they've been playing some pretty weak opponents recently, and they've been, doing what you're supposed to do against the terrible opponents, and that's blowing them out. Now, in the 120-96 win there over the Mavs, we liked what we saw pretty much from everybody. Double-digit scoring and low minutes there for all 5 starters. The bench came in and played well. Joe Ingles actually coming in, getting 7 minutes off the bench, ended up with 1 steal, 1 assist, and no points. Crazy to see Joe Ingles getting minutes. But 22 points off the bench from Naz Reid. He played great, shot the lights out in that game, and had 12 boards. Mike Conley, 5 points off the bench. Nothing too special for really anybody coming off the bench except for Naz Reid. This team, not a ton of great options coming off the pine. But like I said, we loved what we saw from all 5 starters, and they didn't have to play extended minutes. So we'll see what happens in this one. The injury report looking okay. Jaden McDaniels is on there. He's dealing with the wrist issue and is questionable for this game. He did play 23 minutes there against Dallas. I would be a little bit surprised if he potentially missed this game, but maybe sitting him out against the Wizards is just the way to go because you're going to win this game either way. And the odds makers are also very confident that Timberwolves will win this game. They are 15.5 point favorites. We've got a total of 237.5. Washington is 2-11 against the spread. That's an NBA worst against the spread mark. They are 9-4 to the over. Minnesota is 6-8 against the spread. They're 8-6 to the over themselves. I'm not taking the over because I don't think that the Timberwolves are going to put the effort into scoring 160 points in this game, but I will take the Timberwolves here at -15.5. I think they'll comfortably win this game by 20 or 25 points. Even if the bench plays a lot of minutes, we're going to see plenty of production from the bench. Even if Jaden McDaniels sits this game out, that's not going to be a problem. I think we'll see Ant and company go out and open up a 40-point lead by halftime or midway through the third quarter and sit out the rest of the game. So definitely give me the Timberwolves here to get the win and cover. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at the Denver Nuggets going on the road to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. The Nuggets are 10-3 on the season, coming off a crazy 130-127 straight-up loss there against the Chicago Bulls, who were coming off a crazy overtime game the night before, played on no rest, and went into Denver and found a way to get the win. Now, we liked what we saw from Denver, generally speaking, just, not getting the win there, but Jokic did what he does. He was only 1 of 7 from 3, so a bad shooting night, but he posted a 36-point triple-double. 18 boards, 13 assists, 36 points. Jamal Murray had 34 points, but this bench was just so bad. An off night there for Tim Hardaway Jr. Bruce Brown not looking like real Bruce Brown. He was 0 of 2 in 23 minutes and a minus 17. The bench just got destroyed in this game. It was pretty bad. It was pretty freaking bad. So definitely a bounce back spot here for the Nuggets, and the Nuggets bench should play much, much better. They are on the road, so typically your bench unit does not play as well on the road as they play at home, but that was a horrifying performance on the road in that one. Now, the Nuggets are fully healthy for this game. No Julian Strawther, but other than that, they are healthy and ready to go here and should be pretty upset with themselves taking a loss like that. So they're heading to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans, who were 2-12 on the season, making a solid case for themselves as the worst team in the NBA. But we took them plus 17.5 in their last game. That's when they played the Thunder, and sure enough, the Thunder cleared the bench, took their foot off the gas, and we got the cover in that game by a half a point. We needed the hook, but we had the hook, and we got the win there. It did not feel good, but they end up making it happen. Now, really, not a whole lot to feel great about if you're the Pelicans. I mean, 18 points there from Trey Murphy. Jeremiah Fears, 24 points. He played well. I mean, 16 points from Micah Peavy coming off the bench. We are really grasping at straws. I guess as a team, they shot 43% from 3. That's nice. They got beaten on the boards, maybe not crushed, but this was a game where the outcome was never in doubt. And that's kind of the MO for the Pelicans. So we'll see if that changes at all in this one. Is Zion coming back? Is Jordan Poole coming back? Is Sadiq Bey going to play? Zion, he's currently on the injury report with that hamstring issue. He's questionable for this game. You want to give me, you got a wild guess on whether I'm leaning towards Zion playing basketball tonight or not? I will lean towards him not playing basketball. That's been a pretty safe bet, really, over the course of his entire career. Jordan Poole, since he left the Warriors, I'm going to lean towards him either not playing or just being terrible. Oh, yeah, he's still not going to be reassessed for a bit here. So, yeah, Jordan Poole officially out, and Sadiq Bey, he is on the injury report as well. He's dealing with an ankle issue. He's officially questionable for this game. So, looking at the numbers, guys, the Pelicans are getting 13.5 points at home. We've got a total of 232.5. Denver, 9-4 against the spread this season, 7-6 to the over. The Pelicans are 6-7-1 against the spread, 8-6 to the over. I love the Denver Nuggets in this spot to get a blowout win and cover after a embarrassing loss against what should have been a very exhausted team there in the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls aren't bad this year, don't get me wrong, but the Nuggets are not supposed to be losing games like that against a team like the Chicago Bulls, especially coming off the kind of game the Bulls were coming off of. So I expect a much better performance from the bench. I expect the starters continue to do what they do out there, and Jokic and company are going to destroy the New Orleans Pelicans. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Sacramento Kings going on the road in this one to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Kings come to this game 3-11 on the season. They have dropped now, what is it, up to 6 straight games. They just lost 123-110 there in San Antonio. It's getting very, very bleak for Sacramento. It's really overdue for them to clean the decks on this team. Just trade away everybody and press the rebuild button. But the problem is, I don't know how many of these assets are super desired around the league. We'll see. Also, the whole cap situation makes trades much, much tougher. But in the loss, we saw a great game from DeMar DeRozan, 12 of 15 from the field, 27 points. He played really, really well, but it did not matter. Zach LaVine only had 8 points in his 25 minutes. Sabonis, he played well, honestly, 17 points, 13 boards, 5 assists. You can only do so much. The bench for this squad is not great. Schroeder actually did play really well coming off the bench, and Malik Monk is back and playing decent, but something about this squad, I guess they just don't play any defense or something. I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on it, but they just do not win games. So we'll see what happens in this one. See if they've got a little something in the tank here. The injury report for the Kings is looking pretty okay. I mean, Keegan Murray being out, that's been pretty much par for the course. Sabonis potentially missing for this game. Oh, no, knee issue. He is officially sidelined for this one. So we won't be seeing Sabonis. We'll see Keegan Murray. He's going to make his season debut against the Grizzlies on Thursday. So he won't be back for this one, but he will be back on Thursday. So we'll see what the Kings can do here. Heading to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. They're coming off another very solid win. They're 14-1 on the season. Really, realistically looking like they could make a run at some sort of record here in terms of just winning the most games. Is the Warriors record in jeopardy? I would say it potentially is, just because of how deep and how good this team has looked. In that win over the Pelicans, they jumped out to a 69-56 lead there at halftime, and then really put things away early in the third quarter before, kind of clearing the bench and giving everybody a shot to get some minutes in. We loved what we saw from SGA. Only 23 points from him, but 23 very efficient, very effective points, and continues to get to the free throw line. Chet's playing out of his mind. Dort came back and looked really, really good. A great shooting night for Dort, a plus 27 in his 28 minutes. The bench did put up some big negative numbers, guys, and in terms of the plus minus, and that's where the Pelicans were able to claw back into this game. But the Thunder weren't worried about that. They knew this was a win. They were ready to chalk this one up and get on to the next. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Their injury report, still plenty of guys, missing time. Aaron Wiggins on there. Seems like he is officially out for this game. Yes, he is officially out for this game. When you go to starting lineup of SGA, Carson Wallace, Dort, Holmgren, and Hartenstein, you're still in pretty good shape. The bench is also very solid for this team. So we'll see when they get to their final form here this season. It'll probably be by the time they're getting ready to start just piling up more and more wins. It's been nuts. But the Thunder are 18.5 point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 232.5. The Kings are 4-10 against the spread. They're 8-6 to the over. The Thunder are 8-7 against the spread, 8-7 to the over. Not a fun spot, guys. Not excited about doing this. Don't really want to do it. Not even going to want to watch this game once I've done this. But we're taking the Sacramento Kings getting 18.5 points. It's just too many points, just like it was with the Pelicans the other day. The Kings are actually a better team, even with Sabonis sitting, than I think the Pelicans are. So I think the Kings here getting nearly 20 points in an NBA game. Will the Thunder blow them out early? Maybe. Will the Thunder then, let them claw back into the game as the backdoor cover a potential in this one again? It absolutely is. So definitely give me the Kings here, plus 18.5 as our dog of the day. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the New York Knicks going on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Knicks come into this game 8-5 on the season, fresh off a tough 2-point loss there in Miami, but they played relatively well in that loss. I mean, Cat had a bad night shooting the ball, so did Landry Shamet, a huge fall-off night from him after a career night. As a squad, they only shot 25% from distance, which is a big part of why they lost this game, although not exactly a great shooting night there from some members of the Miami Heat. But regardless, a pretty decent night. We saw good production off the bench from both Jordan Clarkson and Josh Hart, so that all worked out pretty well, and just couldn't quite get over there at the top at the end. A very nice day. Miles McBride leading the team in scoring, but that's not really what you want if you are these New York Knicks. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road. The injury report looks okay. The big question mark, OG Anunoby is going to be out. The big question mark is Jalen Brunson. Will he come back or not to face his old team? And to me, it kind of seems silly to be rushing him back here from that ankle issue. He is officially questionable, so we'll see. But this is a game you have to think you can win pretty comfortably if you are these New York Knicks, regardless of whether or not Jalen Brunson plays. So we'll see what happens with that. No other major injury concerns for them in this game. Now, they're taking on a Mavs team that at 4-11, not exactly having a great time. Nico is gone. Nico is fired. So that, era is over. We'll see what goes on here with, Anthony Davis. What are they going to do with him down the stretch? Cooper Flagg. We're going to see, adjustments to how they're playing him, which seems kind of wild the way they're using him. But we'll see what happens in their 96-120 blowout loss there against the Timberwolves. We didn't hate what we saw from Cooper Flagg. 15 points in 27 minutes. Okay. No great performances really from anybody. Jaden Hardy, 17 points off the bench. Maybe he needs to be getting a little bit more run. Clay continuing to be pretty mediocre. 1 of 6 from 3, 3 of 9 from the field, a minus 17 in his 17 minutes off the bench. Things are just not lining up the way that the Dallas Mavericks would have hoped that they would. D'Angelo Russell continues to play terrible, so we'll be talking about him in a second when we talk about player props for this game, but not a lot going the Mavs' way. Anthony Davis, I honestly don't know if we're going to see him in a Mavs uniform again on the floor. He seemingly is trying to get traded out of there, and it makes sense to me. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively are both probable for this game, so it sounds like they will be out there for this one. So looking at the numbers, the Mavs are getting 4.5 points at home. We've got a total of 226.5. The Knicks are 8-5 against the spread. They are 9-4 to the over. Dallas is 6-9 against the spread, 9-6 to the under. I do think over 226.5 is reasonable in this game. I think we'll see a good amount of offense. Enough to get over that number. Maybe that's a big ask for a pretty offensively challenged Dallas Mavericks team, and that's one of the reasons I will take the Knicks here at minus 4.5. Can't really put this in the pinned comment or anything like that until we know about Jalen Brunson's availability for sure, but either way, in a bounce back spot like this, I do think we like the Knicks here quite a bit. That over is also an intriguing play. In terms of a couple player props we like for this game, I'll take Mitchell Robinson over 7.5 rebounds in this one at minus 145. He's been over this number in 4 straight games. While he doesn't play a ton of minutes, he gets absolutely every board during the time that he is on the floor. I'm expecting him to make it happen in Dallas as well, and he can crash the boards offensively and defensively, so this could be a good night for Mitchell Robinson, especially against a couple guys coming off the injury list. On the Mavs side, I'll take D'Angelo Russell under 1.5 made threes at -135. He's been under this number in a staggering 7 straight games. While I'm not in love with what I'm seeing from the Knicks defensively, I think against the Mavs, they'll play enough defense to keep Russell shooting ice cold, and you never really know. Russell might not get too many minutes in this game. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Chicago Bulls going on the road to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. The Bulls come into this game fresh off an absolutely insane 130-127 win there in Denver. That was coming off a double overtime game there in Utah. They go into Denver and get the win. A crazy performance. Got to give them tons of credit for what they were able to do in that one. DeSumo playing great there off the bench, putting up 21 points on 8 of 9 shooting. Javon Carter, 15 points off the bench as well, 16 for Jalen Smith. Giddey had 20. Kevin Huerter had 20 as well. Buzella's not really a monster performance from him, but overall, just a really gutsy performance from what had to be a completely exhausted Chicago Bulls team. So they'll take the win in that one. We'll see what they can do in this game. Still, you would think there's got to be some effect, some hangover, but we'll see. They are relatively healthy coming into this game. Trey Jones is questionable, I believe, for this one. Yeah, with that ankle issue, we'll see if he plays. Jalen Smith sounds like he will play despite that right pec strain. So he should be good to go as they head to Portland to take on the Trailblazers, who are currently, halfway through the second half. They're losing to the Suns by 5 right now. So no updated injury report there on Portland. We'll see who they actually have available. Drew Holiday missing their current game, and Jeremy Grant ending up getting downgraded to and then out for that one, dealing with some sort of illness. We'll have to keep a close eye on the injury report there from the Blazers. Now, the numbers we have for this one are very early release, not even real numbers. Portland maybe going to be -1.5 in this one. Maybe going to have a total of 235.5. The Bulls, they're 9-4 against the spread this year. They are 9-4 to the over. Portland, 6-7 against the spread, 10-3 to the over, 1-0 against the spread on no rest. In general, in this game, I think we're going to be leaning towards the Bulls, but we don't even have real numbers out for this game as of yet. So this last game of the night is going to have to be a wait-and-see spot until we get a little bit more clarity. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out the free picks that are posted over there. Get on that free email list. It's a fantastic resource every single day. You definitely want to hop on there. And guys, check out the premium picks, looking like a very solid premium night out there, across all the major sports. So definitely want to get in on that. And we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.